are having so much fun today, and the fun is just beginning outside our studio. Would you like to do a great meal, maybe have a 5-star meal on a 1-star budget? That's the story of my life. We have a student fresh out of culinary school here to tell us how to do that. Somebody who really has a love of food. This is Tori Rodriguez. What a pleasure to meet you,
Thank you so much for having me.
What was the school you went to?
Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena.
That is the best I've heard.
It's a great school.
Now, one of the things people say is that, we get so used to going to these fancy restaurants and want to learn how to make those dishes at home, not seem so mundane, and put a nice little finishing touch on them.
Exactly.
You're going to give us some of those tips.
Yes, definitely.
We're going to start with fish, because fish is good for you.
Very good for you and very delicious. And this is a really simple recipe.
You say baking it is the key, right?
Yeah, so you want to start it on the stove, finish it in the oven. That way you get that nice crispy outside, the tender inside. Yes, great tip.
Okay, that's the key, because my problem is on the outside it gets too burned, and then inside I don't like it.
And it's too overcooked.
Right. And you shouldn't futz with it too much, because it is really tender, isn't it?
Very tender, especially the tilapia.
That's what this is
really
here?
Flaky, yes. Very flaky, very tender. So you want to be really gentle with it. Make sure your pan's nice and hot. Give the pan a good shake.
Okay.
If it moves in the pan, it's ready to go into the oven.
What did you do here? What kind of herbs do you have prepared for this tilapia?
Well, I did an olive and herb puree. So
Okay.
it's Kalamata olives, some basil, thyme, a little bit of garlic, olive oil, just a little bit of lemon juice to finish it off.
And we shouldn't be afraid of fresh herbs, should we? They're our friend.
They really are, and they're so cheap.
They really are.
So cheap at the grocery store.
Can I
and
taste
you can
this
cook
one?
nice and fresh. Yes,
Fish
please.
is good for me, and I am good for fish.
And it's so tangy.
Tilapia is one that'll make everybody happy, too, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
That is outstanding.
Yay,
okay,
thank
moving
you.
down.
Okay.
Pasta. I make a mess of it at home. I either overcook it, I undercook it, I overdo it in the sauce. What is a tip you have
Well,
for
you want
us?
it al dente, which means to the tooth in Italian.
Throw it at the wall, and if it slides off, it's done?
That's actually a myth.
It
A lot
is?
of people think that, though.
This looks perfect. What did you do?
Well, for this, you want to be really gentle with the herbs.
Okay.
It's a butter paprika sauce, so it's nice and spicy.
That
So not
sounds...
too much heat.
Okay.
So it has a little bit of paprika, some chili flakes, really fun, fresh, some feta cheese. And you want to be really gentle with your herbs when you're working with
You don't
them.
want to be too heavy-handed, right?
Exactly. Be nice to your herbs, they'll be nice back and give you good flavor.
And is it with pasta, less is more because the flavor goes a long way?
I think so. Yeah.
Can I try this
Yeah.
one? Okay, what kind of pasta is this?
This is a fusilli pasta. It's fun because you can find it at your regular grocery store. It's like a corkscrew pasta. It's fun and different.
Now, you actually picked an organic.
Yes.
Does that make a difference? There's a lot of us out there that are trying to be a little more green and a little more healthy. Organic pasta is the way to go?
I choose organic everything that I possibly can. I like it. I think it's good for our bodies. Why not? If you can find it. And my grocery store, we have,
I dropped a little something. We'll get that
little
later.
something for later.
I love cooking with a female chef. She totally understands my pain. Okay, this is for Carlos and the boys, red meat.
Yes, red meat. And this is great for Father's Day, too, if you're trying to come up with something for Father's Day. So.
Now, what is the key with red meat? I'm assuming you grilled this,
I
correct?
actually did it on the stove.
What?
Same method as the fish. Start it on the stove, finish it in the oven. Get that crispy outside, and then it melts in your mouth.
Wait, back up a second. That seems like sacrilege. You did not grill your steak?
Yes, I did not grill my steak.
Do you use a certain kind of pan, or are you just using a regular saucepan?
Regular saucepan.
A
Regular
hot pan?
Hot pan. Always has to be hot.
Yep.
And give your pan a shake. If your pan's nice and hot, put your meat in there, give it a shake after a couple minutes. If it moves, that means it's been seared.
You like shaking
Flip
the
it.
pan,
I
don't
do.
you?
I like shaking my pan.
So just a couple of minutes. If it shakes,
flip
it
it, shake,
over.
flip it, put it in the oven.
Okay, and then how long does it go in the oven for?
Until it's done.
Until it's done the way you like it.
Yes,
If you like
exactly.
it red or what have
yes,
you.
and I always recommend medium rare because that will be the most juicy and tender. And you want to start with a good piece of red meat too. It should be bright red. Always bright red, no dark discoloration. That means it's old, don't buy it.
Ask your butcher too. That's what they're there for. They know meat better than anybody else. I gotta tell you, I think you learned something in cooking school.
I
Tori
hope
Rodriguez,
so.
I'm scared of you. What's gonna happen? Are you gonna be the next Emerald Lagasse?
Yes, please have me back.
And you had your start here. Tori Rodriguez,
so
isn't she a
much.
delight? We'll have the recipes on our website because I know you're going to want to try out some of this food at home. Tori, a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Carlos, I bet you want a taste of that steak, don't you, darling?
Yeah, bring that steak on in here. All right, thanks
all
very much, you
yours.
two. Coming up, Gail's continuing her salute to dads. Yes, she's, out there with those go-karts.